In this video, I'm going to show how you can begin to learn to write Fraktur. If this is your very first time trying calligraphy, I think I'd recommend instead maybe starting with the foundational or maybe the square Gothic style, which I've got a video showing you how to learn. I think they're both just a little bit more forgiving than the Fraktur. But at the same time, I think you have to start somewhere, and if it is your first time trying calligraphy, there is going to be that learning step, as you need to learn those initial pen skills. I have got a video on here called Your Calligraphy Will Suck at First, where you can see my early calligraphy to prove that although you might think I could never do that, I was the same only a few months ago. It just takes time to improve. Okay, if I've not put you off, let's get started with these Fraktur lowercase letters. What I've done here, I've written out the letters just using a normal pen. Might look a little bit funny, but I think it's easier to see the strokes when it's written like this rather than with the thicker calligraphy pen. I think it's easier to see where each line is going. And I'm going to write next to each letter using this calligraphy pen. If you've never seen one of these, I'm using here a Pilot Parallel 3.8mm. To write these letters, you need to keep your nib at a constant 40 or 45 degree angle. Starting with the A. These letters are quite elegant and wavy. Onto the B. C. You might have already spotted the pattern with these letters, with these kind of spiky bits going off to the side, and they might look a bit funny for now, but you'll see later why they are important. Onto the D. This one's a bit funny. And the E, very similar to the C, except the inside bit comes down like that to close off. Now, the F in this book is a little bit funny, and in my opinion, you've not got to stick to exactly what these books say to the letter, if you pardon the pun. So instead, just while you're starting, I recommend this slight modification, and it still fits in with the style in my opinion. So I do the F like this. It's a large letter to the top and very bottom of the lines. To the G. Then this line curls all the way down to the G's tail. Finish the tail off to where to ornate. Onto the H. Again, those funny looking slashes. Are they called serifs? I'm not sure. The I. And rather than a dot, this book says to do this sort of nice ornate looking S for the dot. Onto the J. Again with the S dot. And the K. You might notice as well, all the letters do this thing with the old kick back, like that. As well as these slashes. And the thing is, what starts to happen is, to finish this letter off. I messed up because I was talking. What happens later on is when your pen's at a constant 45 degree angle, all these slashes all line up on the page. I'll show you some writing at the end and see what I mean. Onto the L here. Let's try that again. the M, the N is very similar to the N, except obviously it's got one section less, but it's like the end half of the M, sort of. Again with those slashes. Nice and smooth. O. Onto the P here. This one goes down to the bottom line, just like a normal P. Nice and curvy, like that. The Q, of course, the same as normal writing, is kind of like a P but backwards. The R, again, that same pattern of kicking back to the left first. And the S. We're almost there now, onto the T. The U, and the V, no left kick on this V though, maybe a small one. W, the X, the Y, and finally the Z. This one's a bit curly and it goes below the line as well, like that. Use the edge of the pen just to finish off, like that. And there's our lowercase Fraktur alphabet. Like I said, try not to be intimidated by this. Might look and feel a bit strange at first, but it just takes a bit of practice. And first of all, memorising the letters helps, so you can just keep looking at your page and writing. Here's some recent Fraktur writing that I did. And like I said, you can see now the effect of all these slashes. Although they seem a little bit funny at first, when you see them on the page and they all line up, I think it's quite mesmerising really. You can see on my channel videos of me learning Fraktur not so long ago, from the very first time I tried it myself when it wasn't very good. So don't be put off, just keep practicing. That's it. Hope it helps. If you've got any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching. See ya.